There's a second one in the dark. First one to find it.
Where'd you come from?
Yeah. Thank you.
Where'd you come from? Where'd you come from?
You know what, Kajo? You're just doing what I'm thinking.
Where'd you come from?
I'll stop you in about 20 seconds. And so here we are, here in Darkfall Cave, having spotted something a little bit out of the ordinary. But yes, we are here in Darkfall Cave, having taken quite the fall here in this dark, dim lit cave. And where is Inigo?
Ah, there you are. I thought I had lost you.
Feelings mutual. When I first spotted that out of the corner of my eye, I straight away just thought, Falmer, let's get the bow out. Then you just look at the outline and what's actually happening there a few moments more, and all of a sudden, it's not. Or is it? Either way, you're not a troll, not a naive resident of Skyrim who's come to live down here, no. You appear to be something else. So, we're going to approach rather calmly. Although the thing is with this cave, the more we step closer towards things, the more is revealed. And what is that? It's the same.
Come forward. You have nothing to fear.
What's that? I can feel some kind of power.
Quiet, Serana. Pardon me drawing the sword. You got too much light on you. Well, let me have a look at you. Tall fella. Awfully pale, though. Huh. Hello. What are you doing down here?
I am Knight Paladin Gelabor. Welcome to the great chantry of Auriel.
Auriel. Right, cave is a temple to Auriel. What are you wearing? Hey. Auriel's bow. Are we on the right track? Better be.
Auriel, Auriel, Alkosh, Akatosh. So many different names for the sovereign of the Snow Elves.
The Snow Elves. So I wasn't wrong. You're a... No. Although, kind of in the years, I suppose. I'm quite good at tearing those off over our time on Merlin's quest. You're a snow elf, then. I'm not going to call you a Falmer out loud.
I prefer Snow Elf. The name Falmer usually holds a negative meaning to most travelers.
There's my reasoning.
Those twisted creatures you call Falmer, I call the betrayed.
Well, I hope you know why we're here.
Of course, you're here for Auriel's bow. Why else would you be here? I can help you get it, but first, I must have your assistance.
I was going to say name your price, but how did you know it'd be down here for Auriel's bow? Have you had many people come down here? Do you feel something in the air? Or is Serana, like, signing it back there?
For the thousands of years I've served as the Chantry's sentinel, there hasn't been a single visitor here for any other reason. They request Auriel's bow, and I request their assistance. It's been repeated so many times, I can't imagine it any other way.
Wow. I'd like to know what the kind of people wandered down here before. Did they come down the same way? I wonder. So, name your price. What kind of assistance do you need? Let's work out a deal.
I need you to kill Archcurate Verther, my brother.
Well, if he's as tall as you, as pale as you, wearing an outfit as garish as you. Shouldn't be too hard to find him. Dare I ask why?
The kinship between us is gone. I don't understand what he's become, but he's no longer the brother I once knew. It was the betrayed. They did something to him. I just don't know why Auriel would allow this to happen.
So what exactly did the betrayed do?
They swept into the chantry without warning, and began killing everyone without pause.
Sounds familiar. You fight back? Or what?
The chantry was a place of peaceful worship. I led a small group of paladins, but we were no match for the betrayed's sheer numbers. They slaughtered everyone, and stormed the inner sanctum, where I believe they corrupted further.
Corrupted? It's not exactly a reach to say that you don't even know if he's still alive.
He's alive. I've seen him, but something's wrong. He never looks as though he's in pain or under duress. He just stands there and watches, as though waiting.
Waiting? For what, I wonder? So I presume you've trying to get into the inner sanctum? Or the people who've come here before me, they've tried?
Leaving the way shrines unguarded would be violating my sacred duty as a knight paladin of Auriel.
Right.
And an assault on the betrayed guarding the inner sanctum would only end with my death.
So, a way shrine then? Is that the thing off to your left there, to my right?
Yes, let me show you.
Lead the way. After you. I insist. Don't mind her. No manners. Raised in a castle, spoilt brat, entitled, all the rest of it. Well, there is something there, don't know what.
So this is snow up there. Incredible.
This structure is known as a way shrine. They were used for meditation and for transport when the chantry was a place of enlightenment.
Transport.
Prelates of these shrines were charged with teaching the mantras of Auriel to our initiates.
What's that basin in the center signify?
Once the initiate completed his mantras, he'd dip a ceremonial ewer in the basin at the way shrine's center and proceed to the next way shrine.
So these initiates had to lug around a heavy pitcher of water. Marvelous.
Attitude.
How long would they have to do that?
Well, once the initiate's enlightenment was complete, he'd bring the ewer to the chantry's inner sanctum. Pouring the contents of the ewer into the sacred basin of the sanctum would allow him to enter for an audience with the arch-curate himself.
All that just to end up dumping it out? Makes no sense to me.
It's symbolic. I don't expect you to understand.
So, let's get this straight. We need to do all that nonsense to get into the temples so we can kill your brother and claim Auriel's realm.
I know how it all sounds. But if there was another way, I'd have done it long ago.
You don't need to justify yourself to
The
me.
only
I'm
way
sorry
to
about
get to
her.
my brother is by following in the initiate's footsteps and traveling from way shrine to way shrine, just as they did. The first lay at the end of Darkfall Passage, a cavern that represents the absence of enlightenment.
I see. And how many more way shrines are there? Presumably you know, to the letter.
There are 5 in total, spread far apart across the chantry.
And these caves must be massive, then.
Caves? Oh no. The chantry encompasses far more than a few caves, as you'll soon discover. But before I send you on your way, you'll need the initiate's ewer.
Okay, so I just need to fill this at each way shrine, do I?
Once you've located a way shrine, there'll be a spectral prelate tending to it. They will allow you to draw the waters from the shrine's basin, as if you've been enlightened.
Okay. Well, I've no more questions, so I suppose I'll be off then. I'm awfully sorry about her. She's one of those.
This may be the last time we're able to converse. If you have any questions before you leave, I suggest you ask them.
Okay, let's rack my brain.
Otherwise, all I can do now is grant you my hopes for a safe journey.
Appreciated. Don't look at me.
Questions? I expected as much.
Forgive me for prying, but this is like a once-in-a-lifetime thing, if at all. What happened?
We were once a wealthy and prosperous society that occupied a portion of Skyrim.
Right, yeah.
Unfortunately, we were constantly at war with the Nords, who claimed the land as their ancestral home.
Okay, yeah, I get that. And the Nords won, but then I kind of want to know the grueling details of how specifically it happened. You all cordoned off, put into one place, dipped underground. Didn't you make like a pact with the Dwemer?
In a manner of speaking. We had always maintained an uneasy alliance with the underground-dwelling dwarves, and when faced with extinction, we turned to them for help. Surprisingly, they agreed to protect us, but demanded a terrible price. The blinding of our race.
And I take it not everyone actually agreed to that, although it didn't matter, did it? If they were underground, they're at their mercy.
There were splinter groups that resisted the agreement, and even some that sought alternate alliances. But when it was all said and done, those elves were either slaughtered, vanished, or gave up and took the dwarves' bargain.
Serana, for goodness sake. What turns you people into the betrayed then? You were shoved on the ground, presumably. Was there any more to it than that? Than just being forced to go underground and let life take its course across the generations?
I've often asked myself that very same question. The blinding of my race was supposedly accomplished with a toxin.
With the toxin?
Certainly not enough to devolve them into the sad and twisted beings they
No, but that's new to me, that. A toxin. So, presumably you got away.
The Chantry is quite isolated, so it took some time for word of the dwarves' offer to reach us here. By the time the compact had been completed, it was too late for us to even attempt to intervene.
Or get caught up in it, depending on how you look at things. And speaking of looking at things, you have retained your sight.
Correct. We only numbered perhaps 100 at the time, so our presence remained a secret to the dwarves and the Nords. Ironically, our undoing came at the hands of our own people.
The betrayed.
Yes. They swarmed the Chantry in vast numbers until we were completely overrun. We never really stood a chance. I assumed that the Archcurate was corrupted by them when they found a way to breach the inner sanctum.
Are there more than just you? You mentioned hundreds, but when was that? And lots has happened since then.
Verther and myself are the only 2 snow elves that remain.
Bugger. Wow. Oh. Well. Oriel. Awfully similar to Akatosh. Same thing, right?
This is, or was, the epicenter of our religion. Most of the snow elf people worshipped Oriel. The Chantry was constructed near the beginning of the First Era to provide a retreat for those that wish to become enlightened.
So, most snow elves. Again with the splinter groups of the gods.
Our empire had temples to some of the other deities. Trinimac, Ciribane, Yffrey, and Finister rounded out the rest. But those temples paled in comparison to the glory of the Chantry and its way shrines.
So, the way shrines all part of the Chantry.
Oh yes. They were an important part of the process here. They represented the steps the initiates took on the path to total enlightenment. Sadly, the magic used to construct these wonders were lost long before I arrived here.
Very well. Very well. I'm going to be bumping into these spectral prelates you mentioned at these way shrines. Who are they? Will they be hostile to me? Would they know why I'm there? You knew I was here, so it isn't that much of a reach, is it?
They're ghosts of the snow elf priests that tended the way shrines before being slaughtered by the betrayed. Through the grace of Oriel, they were restored to their spectral form to enable them to continue their duties.
I see. So they should be able to help us, hypothetically.
I'm afraid in their current form, they still believe the Chantry to be an active center of worship. They won't respond to you in any way other than believing that you're an initiate and you're undertaking the journey to the inner sanctum.
Okay, thanks for your time. Seems you have a lot of it these days.
May Oriel light your path.
And Akatosh yours. Just some wordplay. Just a bit more.
Questions? I expected as much.
No more. So, Darkfall Passage. Anyone got any questions? Any furthermore? Not you. I'm gonna have a bite to eat before we step in, if you don't mind. Some ale, some water, I'll have a tomato as well, why not? Alright, again, single file. I know it's kind of gotten us into trouble before with that bridge breaking, but this time, believe me.
That wasn't as unpleasant as I thought it would be. Kind of soothing, actually. I feel a little warmer now.
Oh, good for you. Oh, these. Hell. For your lithe arm, Karja, was that of a Falmer, of a betrayed. Maybe we should start showing the betrayed some more respect. I've often said that there's nothing there to associate with them. They just look like any other fodder, even tearing their ears off with... What's that? Oh, I think I know what that is. Right. It's Chorus. Okay. Alright. Let's do our paladin friend a favour. Bit into my flesh there, something a little poisonous, I suspect. Just get stuck in. Do it. Guard up quick enough.
Done and done. Who's there? I knew I heard something.
Sarana. What did I just say?
What have you got?
That's a lot. They shrivel as we approach. Anyway, the only plus side of this confined passage is that it seems rather straightforward on where we need to be following. So you've got to find another way shrine in this chantry. Okay, now it actually appears like we're genuinely split. Or are we? Have we just sidestepped that? Yes, we have. Said a lot. Look at me. Habit's getting the better of me, do we? I don't know how to feel. I really don't. You know what it is again? My nature, my habit is getting the better of me. I feel as if I should be emotionally affected by what I've just... from the conversation we've just had, except... I'm trying to compel myself to feel a way in which I actually don't. I'm a companion, I'm a member of the Dawnguard, I'm this, that and the other, but still, naturally, I'm just not those things. It's a horrible realization to have. We can do good things whilst not necessarily being good-natured ourselves, can't we? Is that the moral and ethical question
Here to stay. They must be who that priest was calling the betrayed.
I do actually suspect that is the question which is going to be hovering in my mind for the next, or for the foreseeable future anyway. Not quite. Back straight. Thank you.
There you are.
Things are...
Done and done. Who's there? Done and done.
Mate. Whoa, mate. Whoa. Whoa.
Give up while you stick.
Whoa, 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 whoa. This isn't like you. Ow. This isn't like you. Sorry. Karjo, whatever you think, we can move past this. I promise we can move past this. You're beginning to hurt me now, and you're beginning to concern me. So, oh, Karjo. Is he still angry? Karjo. Karjo. Stop.
You are both left. Most decent people are warm in their beds right now.
Look at me. She's here because she has to be. As soon as she's not needing to be here on a mandatory basis, she's not going to be here, okay? As soon as she's not here, we're all going to be back to normal. It's just going to be us three. It's going to be fantastic, okay? Us four, rather. Go away. I know you're frustrated, but you don't take it out on me like that, okay? If you're going to take it out on anyone, you take it out on her. I know you've probably got bored of that by now, because I gave you 20 seconds to go ram it in her face, but come on. Grow up. Applies to you as well. Come on, Karjo, not much longer, mate. Yeah, good thing I'm used to people showing their annoyances in that way. If I wasn't, that could have been a serious incident. You've had a life of friends throwing swords, axes, and Akatosh knows what else at me, just to get annoyed at me from time to time. So I won't take it personally, Karjo. I know I told you to stop. Now you can follow, okay? In your own time. Serana, me and you are going to have to have a chat soon about what kind of spells you're using, because you're causing more trouble than good. And again, the passage looks simple enough.
Where'd you come from?
Serana!
Where'd you come from?
Where did you come from? Hey. I spoke to her Jazago. I promise it's all been sorted out now. At least she says so. You just got to trust her. So have some faith. You as well. And you. How many times I had to whistle at you to get you to stop, eh? Just to give him a free rein from time to time doesn't mean you get one. Anyway. Back on task. Hope we have no more incidents, although can't really promise anything these days.
That'll teach you.
Shh. Let's get this open. further. There we go. There seems to be the only plants down there that we haven't seen before, which don't seem to be receding our presence. I can hear breathing, I swear. Huh. Right then, well. That's where we go. This side. What is that? Is that a hand on its head? A pair of them. Come here.
Where'd you come from?
Good question.
Don't remember how to
Days are
fight.
over.
Right, there we go, you see? Habit again. I think the others are throwing a paddy. Guys, come on, don't make me tell you again. Thank you. Okay. The terrain here begins to look a little different. Serana, don't trip that, please. What is this? You kind of want to go off experience and start saying Ethereum. It's Ethereum. No, it is not Ethereum. I mean, if it is, then I won't know how to extract it properly. Is there a process behind that? Maybe there's some reading involved. Nothing in the Ethereum was, though. Strange. Well, a lot in this cave is strange. It doesn't necessarily have to be Ethereum. In the same sense that that is... Well, what is that? I don't know. Here we go. That Gelabor, was it? The paladin fella. You weren't wrong about this place being rather expansive. I know. At least, it seems as if the path is rather straightforward. Or there's always one place to go, never two. Which is, quite forgiving.
Who's there?
Just take care of this. And behave, all of you. It makes a change in you guys not finding each other. Hop over here. Bloody hell. You're armoured to the teeth. Still hamstring you though. Took a few more hits there than I'd like to admit. Okay, I'm going to make a pledge here. I'm still taking the Falmer ears, but I'm not going to call them Falmer anymore. If I'm to be at least appear to be a righteous person, a heroic person, someone who cares about the downtrodden. What should I do in my own ways, but sometimes it's just a bit hard. No, I will refer to the Falmer from now on as the Betrayed. That's what I will do. To Gelabor. Yeah? He helped us, I'll help him. By doing something rather symbolic, I suppose. We can all do with that, can't we? I think that'll do. The market value of that, I suspect, is rather high. But it's crazy. I'm just gonna leave it there. Most of the ebony stuff I find nowadays as well. Okay, we've got 2 places to go. This is leading us back to where we were. Yep. Okay. Feel the water dripping off of me. So here. Oh, great. Don't trip this. Good work. Awfully surprised by you, Serrano, not tripping that. Now I want to go back and check the other entrance. But if I find the way shrine, I'm not going back. There's a note here. Strange why the cursed have set up so many traps near this stone barrier. Stone barrier? Going to rest here for a bit. Not take any chances. They set those traps up for a reason. I'm not gonna go rushing in to find out why. Just gonna sit here, regain my strength, and possibly try and use the traps to my advantage. Stone barrier?
Be careful here. Whatever's on the other side of this, I know how to keep.
Okay. Okay. The person who wrote that labelled it Part 2, specifically. We have not come across Part 1. It's nice that door's there with a couple of levers and a massive trap glaring us in the face waiting to skewer us, but I'm gonna go check that other entrance. Hopefully it leads to a whole load of nothing. We do not need to be divided here. We need to be one unit, going in one direction, always. Our very lives may depend upon it. So let's backtrack here. Get a little bit of a hurry on without tripping anything. Hey. What are you doing? You checking that place for me? Find anything? I suspect not. Feels almost strange to be hoping not. Things.
Must die. Some sooner than others.
Agreed. Oh, learn your lesson, Norton.
Done and done.
Any more? Probably. Hasn't stumbled into them yet. I'll take that. I'll take that. Okay, an alchemy lab. And a lever of... Okay, so there's a logic here. That lever pulls that trap. At the other side, where we're headed now, there are 2 levers and 1 trap. Okay, 50-50. Garjo. You tried to claim you're not the gambling man over and over again. I keep pointing this out over and over again. But what are your odds, you reckon? Don't say 50-50, that's obvious. Bloody jesters, a lot of you. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch. In a go. By the toe. The toe. The toe. Just a joke. The bloody heck is that? That looks like a saber cat, except it doesn't look like a saber cat. It looks rabid. If it comes at us, I'm gonna freeze it. Get those words on my mind. Don't even trust that it's dead. Try that out. That's all the same, but the hide. Well, seems like a very different place back here. Almost. Spectre. And that, the way shrine. We've come through. We've found where we need to go. I was going to call this place almost Blackreach-ish, but there's something more. Truly. All this from a fall in a dark cave. A dark fall cave, one might call it. You're right, mate. Bit of a heavy cough even for you. Even when we had that periite business, you were a bit more subdued than that. Now, I know this is probably what's making you cough. I need to take the bulbs out of them, do I? Okay. I can deal with that. I can tell you what else you guys can look out for. If you decide to catch up. Any more skeletons? My hunch is that no one's gotten this far. Even they're different. And these spectres, which are supposedly guarding the way shrines, they're going to treat us in a very one-dimensional way, as if we're actually meant to be here, which is a bit... Take the bulb out. Thank you. Okay. Is this Ethereum? You're a hazard to my mates who are gonna come by. I'm sorry. Yeah, these deer are different. I kinda almost want to take a bit of the hide, each of them, just to prove that I've seen something different. You never know, might come in useful one day. Right, Carjo. Gather everyone up and let me do the talking. It's usually the other way around, where they're going to treat me in a difficult way and not allow access, except this time. Greetings. How are you?
Welcome, Initiate. This is the Way Shrine of Illumination. Are you prepared to honor the mantras of Ariel and fill your vessel with his enlightenment?
Sure, yeah, I am.
Then behold Ariel's gift, my child. May it light your path as you seek tranquility within the inner sanctum.
Within the inner sanctum. There's a sanctum inner than this sanctum?
May Ariel's brilliance illuminate your path.
Yours too. Get this thing filled. Let's draw some water. There we go. Right. Garjo,
May Ariel's
keep a hold of that. Keep it upright. If any of that spills out, I'll have your guts for garters. Is that fresh air I smell? You're dressing for it. No. Could it be that we're actually out of this place? Light at the end of the tunnel? I've seen some up there, but they seem to be quite far up. But I hear insects, wildlife, wind. I'd almost forgotten it.
This is incredible. It's like a whole other world. Come on, the bow has to be in this valley somewhere.
Valley. Paradise found. Forgotten. Not without its own dangers. Okay, now I feel kind of justified killing those ones inside. If it's just a circle of life. Mystical as well, apparently. Okay, that looks like silver, so not everything is that mystical. Wow. Is
I'm
it...
not a fan of the sun, but it would be better than this.
Is it criminal to actually want to spend, like, the night here? Should we pitch up a tent? And wait for the morning? Get some more visibility? Or will we benefit by travelling at night in here? This place seems forgotten. There seems to be no benefit of traversing by night. So why don't we just kill the saber cats? Why don't we just pitch up here, make a fire? Yeah? Yeah. I think we should. Where's Inigo?
Uh-huh.
Give us a tent.
Okay, let us see what we have.
I gotta say, even the morning after, or the afternoon, and with some relatively poor visibility, this place is something else. Mystical last night, sure. Like this? Kind of architecture that make up the way shrines seem to litter the entire valley. It seems almost right to, well, pack up everything, give us a hand, guys. But also to traverse the valley in the way it was intended. So what do you say yesterday night, Serrano? Oriel's bow. It's supposedly somewhere in this valley. That's our charge, that's what we will retrieve. That Gelabor fella seemed to suggest that's also the case too. More cats. I'm surprised they didn't try to sniff us out. In fact, your tooth still looks relatively the same as a normal saber cat, so fine. Ah. I really want to come out here with someone who really knows the vegetation. I mean, not only to answer this, but keep a hold of them. Also to answer little things like this, and this looks pretty familiar. What about the normal trees? Those look like trees to me, but they couldn't be. Yeah. Did it fall? No. What about the water? Ah, that's the thing. It isn't. Although there's enough give for the wildlife to quench its thirst. An amethyst. Oh, bugger. I kinda can't shake the feeling that I want to place down a campfire. I know it is pretty cold, actually. I might do that at some point, but let's not. And hang on, there's more of them, but do these appear any different than normal spiders? I don't think so. Is that a big one? That's a big one. Oh, you're disgusting. Wow. How many valleys are there here? Let's get a look at that. In a place like this, you read everything. Oh. What do you reckon, Inigo? Snow elf tongue? Probably. Even the water looks mystical. Hey. Few things take my breath away. This place. I must not want to disturb it. Is that a giant? Not in the way that we know. Oh, this is morbid curiosity, this is. Truly.
Okay, big fellow. Let us
Don't goad it. with it. So it's the same old... Hang on. Huh. Huh. And that... You already have one of those. Believe it or not. Well, even if you killed you, it'd be nice to get you preserved, so why don't you submerge yourself fully?
It's so bright out here. I don't know how you stand it.
This time, Serana, I believe you are right. Now, is this going to lead us back to where we came down, or what? Even the steps are cut with the same stone as the arches. No, this is like somewhere else. And the way shrine. And there, a structure built into the mountain ridge.
Is that another one of those way shrines up there? I wonder where this one goes.
Yeah, but this back here is, well, that's a giant ice sheet by the look of things. Hang on. So is this like a ground level? And there's an elevated level. And to get to that elevated level, you either go this side or presumably you might be able to get around that side. And there's definitely a way shrine there. I'm glad we waited until the morning, sure, but I really don't know what in Tamriel we are getting ourselves into.